All right, welcome back to part three of reviewing the skills in order to answer the test question in relation to finding zeros of a function. So how many of you were able to find the two numbers that multiply to a negative 24 and then add up to a positive 2? We have negative 4 times a positive 6 gives me a negative 24. And a negative 4 plus 6 equals a positive 2. So we found those two numbers that meet the criteria. Let's go ahead and move forward. Since negative 4 and a positive 6 multiply to a negative 4 and then they add up to 2, you can now factor this polynomial expression. The two numbers, negative 4 and a positive 6, will multiply to a negative 24, and they will add up to a positive 2. So simply set up your two parentheses. We have x minus 4 times the quantity of x plus 6. This is now a factor of the polynomial expression. So what you want to do is check your answers. You want to check your answers by using a FOIL, first, outer, inner, last, to see if your factor is correct, right? If this is the correct factorization of the polynomial expression, then when you distribute or multiply the x times both of the terms, the negative 4 times both of those terms, then you will end up, after you combine like terms, with the same exact expression. So I like to go over how to perform FOIL in order to check your answers. And so I'd like to do that now. And hopefully this transition wasn't too sloppy. Oh boy, look at that. FOIL. What does FOIL stand for? First, outer, inner, last. It's a way to remember what terms to multiply with what terms. And essentially, if you understand what distribution property is, you're going to distribute this x times each of the terms. Then you're going to distribute, or another way of saying multiplying, negative 4 times both of those terms. That essentially is FOIL. But if you need a visualization, let me get my tongue out of the way, you can see this here. First, outer, inner, last. First term times the first term. So I'm going to multiply that x times that x, right? Oh, outer term, x times that positive 6. Inner term, right? Negative 4 times the x. And then we have last terms, negative 4 times that positive 6, right? And if you look closely, another way to remember how to do this is you can see there's a couple of eyebrows, there's a little nose, and here is the mouth. That image will remind you how to distribute or FOIL these terms. So what you're going to do is one at a time. I'd like to continue on, show you the process and what we're going to do. Here's the FOIL. First term times the first term. X times X. I'm showing you the invisible ones here in both the exponents place and in the coefficients place. 1 times 1 is that 1x. When we multiply, we add those exponents. That gives us 2. X times x is x squared. Let's look at the outer process here. We have 1x times the positive 6, showing the invisible 1. 1 times 6 is 6. That x variable is attached through multiplications, so you're going to keep it here in simplifying this step. O is for inner, right? We're going to multiply the inner terms. Negative 4 times x. Negative 4 times x, I'm showing that invisible 1. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Again, that's attached to x as well. And then finally, the last terms, we have a negative 4 times a positive 6. As you can see here, negative 4 times a positive 6 gives me a negative 24. So what I'm going to do is take each of these terms and organize them below, combining the like terms. And my goal is to, in checking my answer, is to come up the same polynomial expression that I started with. If I did that, I know the factoring is correct. So I'm taking each one of these terms and just writing them in algebraic order. Remember, that's alphabetical order as well as exponential order. The largest exponents go first, along with the exponents that follow would be smaller. If you haven't seen my video on writing in algebraic expressions, please check out that video, and also check out my video on invisible ones. It will help to clarify a lot of what causes the confusion in mathematics. So check that out. So here in this step, we're just going to combine like terms. Like terms, you have the same letter or variable raised to the same power, invisible 1. I can add or combine like terms. 6 minus 4 is a positive 2. Don't you forget to keep that x value with the term, and you can see here 6 plus a negative 4 is a positive 2. You got that x attached. I'm just going to rewrite that x squared. I'm going to bring down and rewrite that negative 24 because there are no r. I'm sorry. Let me say this again if I can get my tongue out of the way. There are no other like terms for negative 24. There are no other like terms for the power of 2x squared. So that's it. We're done. We just rewrite those terms. Does this look like the original polynomial expression? It is. And so I know that the factoring is correct. And I do want you to see here, look, you can add a plus sign in between any two terms, right? I'm doing it up here as well. It's not going to change the outcome. So that you can do in order to clarify any of your steps. Let's take a look. X squared plus 2x plus a negative 24 factors to x minus 4 times the quantity of x plus 6. I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope these videos are clarifying and making things easier for you. If I have helped you, please help me by donating some stars and gifts. Thank you for your time. Keep an eye out for part 4. I'm going to answer the question showing you 2 different methods that you can use on the exam to get a correct answer. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me.